making this matzah, I've really learnt a few things. First of all, I've used 4.5 cups of flour, and I've used 3/4 of a cup of warm water, and then that was a very dry mix. Add a little bit more water, about 1/4 more cup of water, and some salt, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Then got the dough and mixed it into a big piece of dough, divided into 8 batches. Here was one of the 8 batches. Rolled it into a bit of a ball here, and then had to flatten it with a rolling pin. Now it's quite difficult because this dough is quite dry. It's quite a dry mix to make the matzah. Really difficult, and got to make it flat if you want to have some successful matzah. Now I'm learning some things here about how the matzah symbolizes Yshua, because first of all it's very painful on my hands and particularly on my wrists, and I'm reminded here as I make this matzah how Yshua was crucified to the cross, and that must have been really painful on his wrists. So I'm flattening out this piece of dough here more and more, flattening as much as I can to the side of it, and it's starting to look like a lamb's skin. Remind you of something? Yshua was the Lamb of God who took away the sins of the world. It's looking like a lamb's skin flattened out. And of course, Yshua was flattened out for us. He became this unleavened bread for us. Flattened, unleavened bread. He humbled himself and he became obedient to death, even death on the cross. Here it's starting to resemble that white lambskin. Okay, it's really hard work and it's painful on my wrists. Alright, so there we go. And get it as flat as possible. And after we've done that, we start to take a fork or something like that and begin to pierce it with the fork. Now we have to pierce it with a fork. If we don't pierce it, then it's going to bubble up in the oven. So we have to. It's imperative that we pierce the matzah for it to be a successful piece of flat matzah. It's got to be pierced. And what does the Bible say in Isaiah 53? It says, the prophet Isaiah says, Yshua was pierced for our transgressions. So Yshua was pierced for our transgressions. Here's another one that's finished being pierced. Then we put it in the oven. Now I take it out the oven after I've baked it about 2 minutes or so each side, and each side becomes golden brown. Baked it at about 250 degrees Celsius, and there we are. There's our matzah ready for Pesach. Chag Sameach.